Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Griffin Stadium here at Raider Pavilion on the campus of Moorpark College. We are set for Saturday night college football action between the Moorpark Raiders and the L.A. Pierce Brahma Bulls. Tonight's matchup features an 0-6 Bulls team, Ian, and a 3-3 Raiders team. They're undefeated at home. They're coming off a 49-13 win against Santa Monica. They're undefeated in conference play up to this point. Meanwhile, on the Pierce end of things, not off to a great start. 0-6, as we said. They lost 63-0 to Santa Barbara last week. What's something that they have to improve on going into a game against the 3-win Raider team?
Right, so they're averaging less than 7 points a game, which is less than a touchdown. They need to figure out some sort of comfortability with their quarterbacks. They have a 2 QB system with Peyton Pelletier and Matthew Abajian. So both of them have hit the field in all of their games, and they need to get something rolling. They have too many turnovers early, too many interceptions, too many fumbles. They need to find some way to get comfortable on offense and drive down the field.
Well, especially against a Raider defense that we've seen score 3 defensive touchdowns in the last handful of weeks. They've been a different sort of animal in helping this team win, especially last week. They forced 2 fumbles. One went back for a touchdown and interception for Salah Hill as well. And for the Raiders, what do they need to do to continue this little win streak they got going?
Right, the Raiders defense has been very dominant this year, and we've seen so far when the Raider defense shows up, they win games. Starting up front this season, or this week, we have Amari Thomas and Peyton Casillas out, so they're going to need somebody to step up on the D-line and get in the backfield and cause some pressure to open some plays for Daniel Pierce in that secondary and cause some more turnovers like we've seen from L.A. Pierce.
And a big thing coming into this game, no Peyton Casillas, no Amari Thomas for the Raiders. That's huge for what usually is a lethal pass rush. Those are your 2 best players taken out of the game. I mean, it's got to be a next man up kind of situation because you're losing 2 of your best defensive starters. You're against a team that is on a really cold streak, so that benefits you that they're out for this game versus a game. But either way, it's conference. You want to have your best players on the field. And I mean, overall, L.A. Pierce, they're averaging only 6 points a game and Moorpark 25, so it's going to be a battle of, I'd say, the defenses, wouldn't you?
Right, and like you said, Moorpark's defense, although they have been electric this whole season, they do allow 25 points per game, and they're going to need somebody to step up on that D-line or even in the secondary with maybe not as much pressure coming from Amari Thomas and Peyton Casillas, and they're going to need to find some sort of way to win this game defensively, or, you know, if they can get the offense going early with Bennett Johnson, we'll see how they can play.
Johnson, 3 touchdown passes last week. It should be pretty good game tonight. We're hoping for clear weather. There's a chance of rain, slight, but overall just cloudy here tonight in Moorpark. It's a great night for football, wouldn't you say?
I would say it is a great night. It's a bit chilly, but, you know, players get to wear whatever they want. They get to wear some long sleeves. We got the Raiders in all black, and we got the L.A. Pierce Brahmas in white and red this evening.
Well, we're looking forward to a great matchup. The national anthem and coin toss soon to be underway, and we will catch back with you after the national anthem. Thank you all for joining us up to this point, and stay tuned. we are back after the national anthems. Just 7 minutes to go till kickoff. The Raiders exit the locker rooms as they head towards the field to the greeting of the Raider fans here in attendance tonight. As the captains line up at midfield. Captains for the Raiders tonight, number 57, Spencer Davis. Number 5, Brian Skurlock Jr. Number 25, Royce Powell. And number 13, Daniel Pierce will represent their team for the opening coin toss. The two teams meet. Captains for LA Pierce, number 7, Matt Abajian. Number 23, Nathaniel Jackson. Number 72, Alberto Puente. The toss as the Raiders are lined up in the made tunnel from the cheerleading squad, ready to go. 5 minutes till kickoff, Ian. And the Raiders take the field. We are just about set to get underway. The lights fully bright here tonight. A cloudy day, so despite the early kickoff, still need to be under the lights tonight.
That's right, Saturday night under the lights. Got some injuries for the Moorpark Raiders here. Number 54 and 31, Peyton Casillas. Two big threats on the defensive line.
Well, to see how Moorpark adjusts, I mean, you got to be. We talked in pregame, sort of next man up situation. I mean, you got to have depth, and we've seen them rotate a good amount of defensive lines, so it just probably means that some guys have to stay out there longer, and you know, they're going to be a little bit more worn down, so that's something Pierce can definitely look to take advantage of, running on the outside or longer passing plays, knowing that the exterior edge rushers are not going to be necessarily as fresh, and you're not going to have the best two out there.
Right, and luckily the weather's on their side. It's not too warm. They're not going to be as tired, but you're not going to have as many guys to rotate in at the end and defensive tackle and keep guys fresh, but as long as people are staying disciplined and doing their assignments, we should have a very good game this evening.
LA Pierce has won the toss, has elected to defer to the second half.
And LA Pierce wins the toss, as the official had just mentioned, and they will defer, so the Raiders will get the ball first on the offensive end.
The Raider captains head back to their team.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed the official coin toss, proudly sponsored by CSU Channel Islands. Channel your potential at CSU Channel Islands.
And the lone kicker on the roster for LA Pierce is number 21, Marcelo Asin Ortiz. The Raiders with a couple pregame rituals, getting ready to go, getting in the right mindset for football, and LA Pierce is ready to go. They're fired up for this game, ready to kick it away.
That's right.
They're looking for a first win.
As Moorpark sends out their intimidation factor, the kickoff team will just walk right out and get ready to play the game.
And from a coaching standpoint, you got to like your players just going out there, being ready to go. You know, you're 0-6. It's been a rough season thus far. We mentioned they're not averaging more than a touchdown per game, but they're giving up 43. It's going to be one of those games where they definitely have to get up to a quick start.
Of course, and this is going to be a fight, right? They only can go up from here, so they're going to have to come out swinging early, making plays on defense. We'll see how they react to this Moorpark team. We will have number 13, Daniel Pierce, returning for the Moorpark Raiders, and number 3, Christian Rivas Keener as well.
Well, last time we were on the live stream broadcast here at Griffin Stadium, Daniel Pierce took a punt return back for a touchdown in quite a close win over Grossmont.
Right, and Daniel Pierce is a dangerous returner, but he's also a dangerous safety in the backfield. He's been laying hits all season. Expect him to be getting his name called all game.
Kicking off for the Brahmas is number 21, Marcelo Alcin-Ortiz. Back deep for your Raiders.
Crowding the ball.
And number 13, Danny Pierce.
The Raiders are ready for an onside kick. They're not going to be caught off guard by anything, but now they spread back out. See a couple teams do that at the collegiate and high school levels.
Right, and it's good to just keep the other team on their toes. You never know what they're going to do. You don't want to be too showing in the beginning.
And we are underway. And Pierce will field it at the 15. He'll head right up the middle. He'll get a couple blocks, and Pierce out across to midfield. And a great return to start for the Raiders.
Great return. It's just a simple return middle. They got their blockers there. No one really showing any sense of urgency from the Brahmas, and he runs right up the middle, giving them great field position past the 50 already.
Well, we talked about last time we were here against Grossmont, Moorpark could not seem to move the ball despite great field position consistently last week. They definitely had the offensive gears turning, so we'll see if they can carry that over. Johnston in at quarterback. Here's the play action looking deep for Arcelis. Johnson, and that's going to draw a pass interference penalty.
We got a little bit of tugging down the field from number 4, Charles Yates, and that will be a PI. It is not a spot foul. It is a 15-yard penalty, so.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, an automatic first down for the Raiders, so the offense in just basically one play outside the kick return has gone from midfield. Now you're inside the 35. Really got to capitalize off of this great start that your special teams and then L.A. Pierce has given you.
Right, they get a free first down, and here they are, the run game.
So the throw complete to Batarse on the left side. He'll be brought down after a pickup of 8 at the 25-yard line of the Brahmas.
Right, and you've got a consistent receiving core with Batarse, Alex Jones, and Arcelis Jones. They just haven't seemed to find a QB that they like yet, mixing in Cloughton McCrowd and Bennett Johnson.
Here's a handoff for a first down. It was to Gabe Landless, it looks like. Yep, indeed, number 21, the leading rusher for the Raiders. Well, we saw Royce Powell as the starter in the opener for the Raiders here at home. Scored the first touchdown of the season, but since then they've gone heavy Gabe Landless as they go here again. He will be stopped for about 3.
Right, and down the season they found Landless as their go-to guy. He's a shifty back. He has great vision. He's able to find those holes and get behind blockers. And then he creates a good passing game because they're ready to see for run, and then opens up the receivers, and Bennett Johnson's able to hit them.
And here's play action complete out in the flats and into the end zone for a touchdown, Raiders. Moorpark strikes first. Ty Eli, the linebacker, out of the backfield for a touchdown.
Right, like you said, Ty Eli, a linebacker, but they put him in at the fullback set. A little screen pass there, and he's able to get into the end zone. Quick work by the Moorpark offense, and Daniel Burke is out there to kick the extra point.
Burke, a 92% extra point kicker on the season. Snap, and the kick is good for Daniel Burke. And the Raiders lead 7-0 with 13:19 left to go. So in less than 2 minutes, Moorpark has had a lead.
That's exactly what Moorpark needed to do. They needed to create a presence early. They had an efficient drive. There was a penalty there to start it off, but started with great field position, and they got in the end zone, and here they are, 7-0 early in the game.
Well, he looked very comfortable running in, passing, picking up over 5 yards on almost every single play.
Back to return for the Brahmas is Charles Yates, number 4, and number 33.
I believe that's
Rafe Anthony.
Yeah, it is Anthony's listed as a defensive back and kick returner.
We would also like to acknowledge these outstanding softball student athletes for donating their time to help with our football game management crew. A very special shout out to
And now Daniel Burke will send this one away.
having our team members to donate their time and partake in their community service.
And this will be a short kick fielded at the 15. And getting a block up the middle, the kicker to beat and brought down at the 45. Just shy of midfield, so explosive kick returning for both teams.
2 explosive kick returns. The kickoff teams just don't seem to be getting down there quick enough, and they're allowing them to get through, starting with great field position. Again, Brahmas and Matt Abajian out to start. First time he has started the season. He has played, so he has experience. We'll see how the Brahmas come out in this offensive set.
Abajian, a former Moorpark Raider, transferred after his first year with the team. Here's Abajian throwing deep over the middle and intercepted. Daniel Pierce, you mentioned him earlier. Pierce down the sidelines. He's got blockers, he's got the speed, and a touchdown. Daniel Pierce.
Read it easily, came over the middle, was able to pick it off, tipped off of the wide receiver's hands, and this has been a struggle all year for the Brahmas. They've been turning over the ball early in games, and it puts them behind. Here we see another turnover, an interception by Daniel Pierce, return for a touchdown, which is their 5th defensive touchdown of the season.
Well, it looks there's some discussion
Doing the
from the
run.
officials.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 13. That penalty being forced short of the touchdown. First down.
So the touchdown taken off the board from an unsportsmanlike conduct on Pierce, assuming a taunt occurred on the return. Not a smart play right there, but nonetheless the Raiders will get the ball, but it wipes off a pick-6 touchdown.
Of course, that's something you definitely can't afford, but you know, the momentum is still there. They've been rolling. Their last offensive drive was nearly perfect. We'll see how they respond to that penalty and if they can score still.
Well, especially, I mean, you have a touchdown taken away. You want nothing more than within the same drive at least to get it back.
They have Gabe Landless and Cameron Davis in the backfield.
Here's Landless, Davis as the fullback. Will fall forward for a pickup of 4. So the tone kind of has mellowed down since the pick-6 got wiped off the board. It's only been one play, but it was very loud, and since then it's kind of seemed a little calmed down. The Raiders understand that they're only up 7-0 still. There's a rollout for Bennett Johnson, complete to Arcelis Johnson on the outside.
Right, Luke, and without that penalty, you got to think the Raiders are feeling untouchable. Up 13-0 early, but penalty brings them back. They're still driving well. They're able to complete that pass to Arcelis Johnson, and they're still moving.
And here's the Batarse in motion. They hand up the middle to Landless. He breaks through and diving to the 2-yard line. Landless barely stopped before the end zone. That was Parker Pelletier on the touchdown saving tackle.
Great run by Landless. He finds the gap, doesn't waste any time going east or west. He's north and south. He wants to find the end zone, gets him to the 2-yard line. And they have Cameron Davis in there as a power back set, and Ty Eli as well, who caught the first touchdown. Expecting a short run here and a touchdown.
Well, they have Arcelis Johnson, the 6'6 receiver, all alone on the left side. They hand off to Landless. Ooh, a big hit in the gap. And then he is swallowed up behind the line for a loss of 1.
Big hit by number 14, Max Gudino. Finds him in the backfield, isn't able to come up with the tackle, but he slows Gabe Landless down, and his defensive linemen come in to swallow him up and stop the drive.
So we'll just flip the formation. Johnson working against Yates at the bottom. To the right of Johnston. Here is a handoff to Landless. He will walk in untouched for a Moorpark touchdown.
Luke, like you said, flip the formation, same play, run it behind your guys, have faith in Gabe Landless, and they find the glory in the end zone. Here comes Daniel Burke to kick the extra point.
And now, you mentioned earlier, you said after the pick six, if it stood, you would feel sort of untouchable. You're off to an early, almost 3 plays into the game, you're up 13. Do you still feel the same way because your offense finished off the drive that Pierce started?
Right, and in fact, I would feel even better. Like, you get the penalty, but you don't skip a beat. You're able to keep driving. Offense is working efficiently, and they get a touchdown anyway. Here they are, kicking off, set to get on defense, and, you know, defense isn't tired at all. They have only played 1 play.
Well, the extra point from Burke was up and good, 14-0 with 11:16 to go. And now, a question, that was Abajian at quarterback last time. Do we see a switch because it was a 1-play interception, or do you give him a little more trust and faith?
I think with the way the season has been going, you got to have faith in your quarterback, and you got to keep him in there. See if he can make some plays. If it's not working out in the first drive or two, switch out Peyton Pelletier or even Tony Overstreet and see what you can get working.
Well, Raiders line up for the kickoff. It is Anthony and Yates back to return once again. Presumably that'll be the deal for the majority of the night. And a short pooch to the right side will bounce in bounds, and a dangerous chance. The Raiders may have it. It's at the 25. No sign from the officials, but Pierce let it bounce, and this could be a pooch kick that ends up being recovered by Moorpark.
Right, Luke, and they go for the sneaky pooch. No one is near for L.A. Pierce. Moorpark gets a hand on it, but it's an odd recovery. We'll see if they come up with the ball.
The Raiders came out of the pile with the ball. The officials are discussing. And it is a Raider recovery. Moorpark with a sort of gadget onside kick that probably wasn't exactly planned, but they definitely saw something in film prior in the week, you'd imagine. To have a pooch kick land right at the 30 in perfect execution, I'd imagine, on Burke's end.
Right, they saw the open window. They decided to go for the pooch. Nothing more to lose. They come up with the ball, and time again, we've seen this Moorpark special teams come up with big plays and set them up in big field position.
Now, bunch to the left. It is a low ball screen ruled incomplete on a forward pass. Not sure what happened there on that one. Just a little too low at the feet of Arcelis Johnson.
Looked like the offense was rushing up to get to the ball quick, get a play off, maybe catch the defense on their toes. Not quite a successful play, but on to 2nd and 10. Royce Powell in the backfield, number 25, with Alexander Jones up at the top in the trips left formation with Batarse and Johnson.
And here's the snap. And nowhere to go. He's got Powell on a screen. Powell inside the 20 and down inside the 10 as he's knocked out of bounds by Armando Solis.
Powell does a great job of staying in that play. He gets shooken up early by the defensive tackle, but he's able to get out into the flats, pick up that screen pass, and pick up some yards for a first down. Here they are in the red zone for the 3rd time this game already.
On that play, it looked like Powell took a little extra time getting out into the flats, possibly caught up, but the screenplay works to perfection. He had blockers up ahead. As you said, 3rd time in the red zone. They've cashed in on touchdowns the last 2 trips.
Ty Eli and Cameron Davis in the backfield.
Here's a play action, throw to the end zone, complete, touchdown Moorpark. Luke Rasmussen at quarterback, the pass to Kobe Van Veen for the touchdown.
Great play action pass. Brahmas are expecting run. He pulls the ball and he's able to find his running back in the corner of the end zone. Easy completion. Here comes Daniel Burke for the extra point.
They'll make it 21-0 in less than 5 minutes. And you can't have a more perfect start for the Raiders. It's 21-0, and L.A. Pierce has seen one play of offense, as it is officially 21-0 as the extra point is through the uprights.
Right, Luke, like you said, 21 points in 5 minutes. Not only is it efficient, it's dominant. Raiders are looking great right now.
Well, for Pierce, I mean, presumably you're going to get the ball back. I mean, you can't be sure necessarily after what we've seen in these first 5 minutes, but as long as you're safe with the kick return, you'll get the ball back. How do you approach this on offense now, down 21 so early on in a game? Do you just throw everything out?
Right, and with the way the Raiders have been playing on defense and on offense, this makes it a passing game already. Down 21 in the first quarter. You got to have your best QB out there for throwing deep, and you got to have your receivers on point for this drive. We'll see how they respond to that last Moorpark Raiders drive.
Well, Burke this time will send it deep. It'll be Yates fielding it at the 10. Yates to the right side, another good lane. And Yates brought down out of bounds by Burke and Luke Rasmussen.
Another great return by Yates. His vision, he's able to see that right side of the field open up, takes to the 40-yard line, puts him in great field position. And once again, they bring out number 7, Matthew Abajian at quarterback.
So Abajian starting 0 for 1 with an interception. We'll see. Maybe they go with a run, despite you saying it was now a pass-heavy situation. Maybe you try to slow it down. Your first pass is intercepted. See how the first run goes. And a motion jet sweep is handed off on the right side. We'll pick up about 8. That's Jason Labra on the carry.
Right, and the Brahmas do have some upside. They have some mismatches here on the outside with their wide receivers. Dan McWilliams-Becerra, a 6'4", 200-pound receiver, much taller than the cornerback. Number 8 out there, Dante Holy, another 6'3" wide receiver.
There's Abajian, quick throw to the right side, broken up in the flats. C.J. Jackson jumping the out route for the Raiders.
C.J. Jackson, another big name here on this defense. Their number 1 corner, usually have him on the island side. Comes up with a lot of pass breakups.
The Raiders in this game on defense, I mean, haven't seen much of a look so far. You kind of got cold feet on the other end. You're just kind of waiting around. You got to stay warm. As you mentioned, where you're rattling off earlier, the height differences definitely favor the Brahmas, as this is a handoff up the middle. And Yates to the right side, stiff arms the defender. Yates inside the 30, and Pierce pushes him out of bounds at the 25. A first down run.
Looks like we got a scuffle at the end of the play here. No flags are thrown. Great run by Yates there. He, once again, his vision is great. He picks up 15, 20 yards. He's able to get through the line, through the hole. Makes it a 1st and 10 in Raider territory.
And set up by the great kick return once again by Yates. And he's kind of, as you mentioned, he's got great vision. He's the kick returner, starting running back. A guy like that, you got to know where you are on a football field. Here's Abajian, throw to the left, and that was a screen that was caught barely by Jason Labra, but in heavy traffic.
Dangerous pass there. He's able to pick up the catch. It's a loss of yards, but they're trying to get something moving here in the passing game. They got to complete a couple more passes, get comfortable. The run game's working well. Here we are with a 2nd and 12, still in Raider territory.
That was Michael Garibay from his safety position flying down to make the tackle. Abajian with 2 receivers to each side. Out of the gun, and he will hand it off to Yates up the middle. It will be brought down back to the line of scrimmage. He'll make it 3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10. You got to be expecting pass here. They got Mac Williams-Becerra, number 11. They got Dante Holy, number 8 out there, out on the right side. Spread formation, or not spread formation. We have a double running back set here.
First time we've seen this today. Here's Abajian, and he will hand it off to Yates, who will swerve through the defense and then is tackled by a group of Raiders. We'll mark him about 5 yards short of the first down, and down 21. Is this a 4-down territory for the Brahmas?
Interesting strategy here, Luke, like you said. They are farthest they've been on the field this whole game. It is still the first quarter. They're bringing in some more guys. Number 21, Marcelo Asen Ortiz, who is
That
also
is the kicker.
The kicker, yes.
So potential, I'd imagine they're going field goal here. And they are. A field goal set, Abajian to hold, so starting quarterback also the holder for the team. Hassan Ortiz. And it's a fake. Abajian rolls, throwing to Yates, complete, but short of the first down. He needed to get to the 20, and he got to about the 23. So a fake failed field goal will get the Raiders the ball back.
Risky play. Obviously, you see Yates is out there. You wouldn't expect him to be blocking on a normal field goal. You know that they got their eyes on him. He's their guy. He's just got to get to the sticks. He's open. He makes the catch, but it's not far enough. Turns over the ball and puts the ball back in Bennett Johnson's hands.
And now Moorpark going with the dual back set, as we saw majority of the last drive with Davis and Landless. Here's Johnston, play action, throws complete to Gabe Landless. To the right side, he will pick up 8. Second down and short to go.
Quick play action pass. Landless is able to slip out into the flat, catch the ball, full head of steam downfield, brings up a second and short.
And they go same formation for the Raiders. Landless in motion to the left side. There's a throw out to Landless. And Landless gets a block, and he is brought down for a first down, Raiders.
You see some physical blocking out there from Alex Jones. A pancake block for him, and he's able to pick up a first down. Gabe Landless with the catch. Seems to be limping off the field, though.
Well, not a good sign for their Moorpark starting running back.
They got a bunch set on the left side. Alex Jones at the top.
Here's Johnson. He's going to hand it off to Powell, who makes a juke to the left. And a good move for Royce Powell, picking up 9.
Right, and Moorpark coming out with a community running back set. Cameron Davis, Ty Eli, Royce Powell, and Landless seeing snaps here. Trips right is the formation for them.
And here's the keeper for Johnston, looking for a block. He will not get it as he tries for the outside. He's brought down, but a first down nonetheless, a pickup of 4.
Right, and this time a run by the quarterback. Quick option play, he takes it out to the right. It's a second and short, but he picks up the first down.
Well, Johnson now, and we've seen a lot of shotgun. We've barely seen under center inside the 10-yard line. We have not seen many pass attempts from Johnson at that. If not, it's been to the running backs. Here's a give to Powell once again. And fighting forward will only pick up 4.
Right, Luke, like you say, so far it's been heavy run game, and if they do pass, it's been to the running backs. It's been a screen. They've slipped them out into the flat or straight up behind the line. Give them the ball quick, trying to get out there, get the defense tired, run the clock.
Well, here's Powell in motion now. We saw this to Landless. They give it to him. He makes a move inside, but will eventually be brought down. That's Max Godino on the tackle for the Brahmas. Well, now a 3rd down and 10. Back-to-back, no gains for Royce Powell. They try for the hard count. Possibly got him to jump, sending it deep for Jones, and incomplete. In and out of the hands of the trusted receiver.
Interesting play there. Like you said, they go for the hard count. Looks like they're off the ball late, but no flags. He's got Alex Jones down the field. A little bit of an underthrown ball. Can't come up with a completion.
And a little bit of confusion. It was I imagine that the Raider offense thought they got him offsides. That's why it was a shot deep. But nonetheless, a punt coming up.
Tony Johnson here into punt. A great punter here. One of the stars of the special teams.
Saw him make some amazing plays time after time against Grossmont when the offense was struggling. He would give the defense excellent field position to work with. This one, clean and away, will bounce at the 22 backwards to the 27, where Rasmussen will down the ball. And now the Brahma offense takes the field for the third time tonight.
Right, they pick up their first stop on defense. This has got to give them some sort of momentum. We'll see how the offense responds. Still with Matthew Abajian at the helm.
Well, Abajian, of the two quarterbacks, at least you look at the completion percentages through both of them, almost double of Peyton Pelletier. So maybe they're just going with more of a consistent kind of thrower versus someone who's more a little bit inconsistent. He has more yards, but at the same time, Abajian maybe more of a settled down quarterback for him. As he goes with the outside stretch to the left with Yates, who will just waltz out of bounds, and a loss of 1.
Right, Luke, and like you said, completion percentage almost double, and so far they have been trying to play it safe. They've been running it a lot, and maybe they go with Abajian. He's got less turnovers, and they're just trying to stay more fundamental and try and get some good drives going and trying to get comfortable early in this ball game.
Well, now second down and long after just a run that seemed, pretty harmless, goes backwards quite a bit. They give him a loss of 3 and a timeout, the first of the half for L.A. Pierce, with 2:51 to go in the first quarter.
Timeout, L.A. Pierce. First charge, timeout.
Timeout by Pierce with 2:51 left in the first quarter.
And a 21-point deficit this early on. L.A. Pierce has got to sort of figure something out. They got to get the gears turning.
Right, Luke. Moorpark has come out here. They've been dominant on defense. They've been efficient on offense. They've only had one drive not find the end zone. And so far they've been playing great. L.A. Pierce, they need to come out. They need to find some sort of guy on offense to have faith in and put the ball in their hands. So far it's been Yates. We haven't seen any receiver sort of come out and be the guy for them. We'll see who Matthew Abajian can get the ball to here.
And we mentioned all the other receivers, but Abajian has only targeted one, and that's Lauber. He's the only receiver to see a target outside of Yates on the failed failed faked field goal. And here's Abajian spinning around, firing to Yates. He's got a blocker up ahead. Yates with some speed, a first down run, and there goes Yates down the sidelines. Still going inside the Raider 40, and a big play for L.A. Pierce, the first one that they've had all night.
Right, and like we said, Yates is their guy. They want to get him the ball early, and they want to get him with some speed heading down the field. There you go. They have a block set up, and he's able to pick up a first and bring it into Raiders territory.
Well, now a spread look once again inside the 40 is Abajian. A low snap. Looking to the right, pump fakes, completes, and shaken down is number 8, Dante Hawley. His first target, as you mentioned, the 6'4" freshman tight end.
Dante Hawley, number 8, attacks him downfield, stops his feet. He's able to find the window in the flats. Matthew Abajian improvises off that low snap, and he's able to get him the ball. Second and long still in Raider territory.
Well, we're coming down to the last 2 minutes of the first quarter, definitely favoring the Raiders. Not ideal for L.A. Pierce, obviously not what they had in mind. But it seems like they're sort of sticking to their game plan. Short passes with Abajian and run to Yates as this run nowhere to go. Now is Robert Padilla on the carry, and he's dropped for a pickup of maybe a yard.
Right, Luke, and like you said, they're not necessarily caring too much about the score right now. They're sticking to their game. They're going to run the ball. They got to try and tire out this defense. Now they're starting to incorporate some passes with Abajian, and here they are attacking towards the red zone. Mac Williams Becerra on the left side. Dante Holy up on the right side at the top.
Well, Mac Williams-Becerra, their leading receiver, hasn't even seen one go his way tonight. Another low snap. Abajian under trouble, and he's going to go down for the sack. Matt Abajian dropped. And that's going to bring up a 4th down punt. That was Jalen Thompson in on the sack for the Moorpark Raiders.
Number 88, Jalen Thompson, comes in. He makes a great play. He doesn't let him get around him. Comes up with the sack. And like we said earlier, we got big guys out this game, Amari Thomas and Peyton Casillas, but we got guys stepping up like Jalen Thompson, making plays and stopping this Brahmas offense.
And there's a lot of enthusiasm on the Raiders sideline right now. They are very much into this one. And a punt is to Pierce. He will field it at the 15. And Pierce brought down after a couple missed tackles short of the 25, and now the Raider offense comes out into the field after their first punt.
First and 10 for the Raiders. You got Bennett Johnson coming out, Gabe Landless and Cameron Davis in the backfield, Arcelis Johnson up on this right side, and then you got Alex Jones, their number 1 receiver, up at the top on the island.
Well, now we get a pistol set with Davis as a tight end. Bennett Johnston, play action, looking. He's got Davis in the flats, a low grab. Stiff arms a man for 1, and he will be brought down after a pickup of 4. As the clock winding down.
Looked like the ball might have been tipped, but Cameron Davis is able to keep the play going with a low catch. Brings up a 2nd and short. Moorpark Raiders are still driving.
And the last play of the first quarter, if they get it off, Davis in motion. Handoff to Landless to the right side. And Landless will barrel forward and a 1st down, Moorpark, as the clock expires for the first quarter of this game, and late flags coming in. We saw a bunch of personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts last time we were here.
Looks like we're going to get another unsportsmanlike conduct from Brahmas as one of their players kicked the ball after the play.
Well, that's definitely not your job when you're out there on defense. You got to save that for the kicker.
Into the quarter.
No.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Your score, Moorpark 21,
Unsportsmanlike
LA
conduct.
Pierce 0.
Number 23 to defense, LA Pierce, 15-yard penalty. That's his first unsportsmanlike.
And the first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on LA Pierce. And that'll give 15 yards towards the Raiders as they now head away from the scoreboard towards the campus side of the field.
Right, and that's very costly, and it simply is just unnecessary. No need to kick the ball. You're going to give them another 15 yards on an already great gain from Gabe Landless. Very unsportsmanlike. Sets them up in great field position.
They're going to be near midfield based off where the referee is standing right now. It should be just about at the 50. As the ball is marched forward, the Raiders look to extend on an early lead. We saw lightning bolts of scoring in the first 5 minutes, but then the remaining 10 of the first quarter, it was a lot of defense.
A lot of defense. And like you said earlier, you thought it was going to be a defensive game, and it has been. You know, we almost had a defensive touchdown and got called back, but both defenses have been playing great in the last couple of minutes.
Johnston looking deep. He's got Alexander Kapka-Jones, and he is brought down for the touchdown, Raiders. Alexander Kapka-Jones takes the top off of the defense, and Bennett Johnson with the strike, 27-0.
Alexander Jones does a great job running that backside post. Bennett Johnson, he gets some time in the pocket, finds him deep down the field, absolute dime. And, you know, that's exactly what you're expecting between those two. They've been linking up all season. It was going to happen sooner or later.
Well, their best receiver and leading receiver, he had his first breakout game here in the Raider home opener against Santa Ana and was a key part in setting up the Daniel Burke game-winning field goal. And Burke adds the extra point, 28-0 with 14:51. The first play we were just mentioning, went 10 minutes scoreless. 9 seconds later, the Raiders are on the board with a 50-yard touchdown strike.
Right, and like you said, he had his first breakout game. He is the leading scorer besides Daniel Burke, the kicker. You got to expect to have some attention on him during the game. and they let him fly past, and he's able to catch the ball and catch him off guard. Picks up his 4th touchdown of the season. Alexander Jones, number 14.
Out of Oak Park High School, he's done a phenomenal job in his first year here at Moorpark. Become the most trusted target of the quarterback, Bennett Johnson. And now they change one of the returners. Or correction, no they do not. It is still Anthony back there, along with Yates. And we've seen Yates get all of the returns besides the one that was recovered by Moorpark. This one bobbled inside the 5. Yates has to return. He's got a lane up the middle. Yates, another great return, this time only to the 35, but very solid job from Yates.
Once again, Yates, he reaches back. He's back behind towards the 1-yard line, able to return it, break some tackles, and he gets the ball to the 35-yard line. Solid field position for the Brahmas. Once again, Matt Abajian hitting the field.
Well, it seems like Abajian, you know, maybe we thought maybe we'd see like a exchange every other drive or every other quarter, but up until this point, it's been all Matt Abajian. And he's led him into Raider territory multiple times as he hands this one off again. Padilla nowhere to go.
Like you said, they've had some decent drives. They just aren't able to pick up any points. They're getting close, but just not close enough. Here we are bringing up a 2nd and 10 with no gain on the play.
Well, the run game has been sort of the engine for the LA Pierce offense. Not much so through the passing game, but it's basically run through Yates and the sort of field of running backs between Kirksey and Padilla.
Right, but with the way the game is going right now, down 28, you got to expect them to start throwing deep eventually.
We'll see if they take a shot here. It's 2nd down and 10. A spread formation for Abajian. Takes the snap. Play clock was winding down. Fires and incomplete. CJ Jackson on the coverage. He was looking for Jason Labra again. And incomplete.
It's a quick pass option out to the flat. Not open. Able to come up with the pass block and bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Brahmas.
I mean, is this 4-down territory? You're only at your own 35. I would imagine not, but you're down 28 at this point. I mean, is it sort of you don't want to get things too out of hand and you're not too desperate yet? I mean, there is still a whole half and most of this quarter to play.
We'll have to see. I believe if you pick up more than 5 or 6 yards on this play, you got to go for it on 4th. You got to keep this game alive, and you got to put some confidence in your team.
And over the middle, complete. Abajian finds his running back, Reciel Kirksey, who fights forward for about 5 to the 40-yard line. But now it's 4th down.
4th and 5. Abajian's going to the sideline to pick up a play. I believe they will be going for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're staying on the field. A couple substitutions for the Raiders. When we see Moorpark a lot of the time mostly on Solid Hill's side, you'll see him in press man coverage against any outside receiver. He's at the bottom of the screen here.
Right, him and CJ Jackson not afraid to get in the wide receiver's face.
And Abajian firing deep, a miscommunication, and into the hands of one of his coaches, and the Raiders will take over. 1st down and 10 at the LA Pierce 40.
Right, Luke, and that simply can't happen on a 4th and 5. And you're in your own territory. You can't have a miscommunication. That's going to be costly. Giving the Raiders the ball back in their own territory. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. Bennett Johnson out there and Royce Powell in the backfield.
Well, he's got a trips left look. And Bennett Johnson's done a great job maintaining possession and just delivering quick passes. Obviously the deep shot, he's looking for Jones again. That was Batarse with a catch. Touchdown Raiders, what a grab from Blake Batarse.
You got Batarse and you got Alex Jones running down the field. Jones already with a touchdown. Batarse able to pick up he mosses him. He's able to pick up the catch, and he's able to make his way into the end zone. Great play and catch by Bennett Johnson and Blake Batarse.
Well, a 41-yard touchdown pass following up a 50-yard touchdown pass. I mean, that one looked a little bit underthrown, and Batarse kind of came back and just went up for it.
Right, and like you said, it looked like it was almost meant for Alex Jones out on that sideline, but a little underthrown. Blake Batarse able to improvise, picks up the catch over the DB, makes his way into the end zone.
And it is 35-0 with 12:46 to go here in the second quarter. And Ian, your thoughts overall on the Raider offense?
Overall, the Raider offense is very efficient, more efficient than we've seen in previous games. They're throwing the ball downfield. They're able to get their run plays with Gabe Landless and Royce Powell. They've been hitting the flats with the running backs. Everything seems to be working for this Raider offense and not so much for this L.A. Pierce offense.
And Burke to kick it away. It seems like sort of no answers for L.A. Pierce. I mean, they can't really get the ball going on offense effectively enough, especially stalling down inside the 30. And the defense, they're kind of lost right now in the secondary. 2 passes, 2 touchdowns for over 90 yards total.
Right, and like we said, they got Matthew Abajian out there, maybe a safer option. He only has 1 interception. But so far,
this is a dangerous situation. L.A. Pierce, the ball was muffed back into the end zone, so they're going to get the ball at the 2-yard line. He had to